After 12 days of public hearing, the three-member committee probing the Jura clashes has wrapped up its public sitting. Set up by President Akufo-Addo, the committee took testimonies from 22 witnesses, including 3 who had their sessions in camera for security reasons. Chairman of the committee, Justice George Kingsley-Kumsing, told journalists the committee is satisfied with the cooperation of the public, especially residents of Ejura, and promised to be open-minded with its report and recommendations. Oiming Teo of our security desk has more in the following report.
The death of social activist Ibrahim Mohammed, also known as Kakamecho, on June 28, 2021, sparked clashes in Ejura. 2 people were killed, whilst 6 others received gunshot injuries. The Committee of Inquiry began its public engagement on July 5, 2021, after a visit to Ejura. The committee received public backlash on its first sitting as members were seen to be overly focused on critique of media reportage of the incidents. But chairman of the committee, George Kingsley-Kumsing, says inquisition into evidence submitted by journalists before the committee was not to ridicule them.
If Kweku comes, he testifies, he asks questions. If a media man comes, he testifies, he should be subjected to some form of questioning. That doesn't mean that you are being ridiculed.
In all, 22 witnesses, including 3 in camera, appeared before the committee. Justice George Kingsley-Kumsing says the committee is satisfied with public support, especially residents of Ejura.
On behalf of the committee and on my own behalf, we would like to thank the media who have been our partners in this exercise. We are very grateful to you.
The committee received 117 videos, 555 pictures and 1 audio in evidence. It also received 2 spent shells.
These are the shells.
However, some witnesses have come under a barrage of attacks after appearing before the committee. Prominent among them is Love FM's Erastus Asaidonko, whose testimony has been described as stupid and irrelevant by Chairman of Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee, Kennedy Ejapong. But Justice Kumsing thinks otherwise.
Who decides what is stupid? We as a committee, we are a fact-finding committee. And we've not come out to say that anyone's evidence is stupid or is irrelevant. No, so whoever would describe a piece of evidence as stupid or irrelevant, it is the person's own opinion.
It's in relation to what Erastus gives to the committee.
Erastus gives evidence, a lot of evidence, video, and apart from that, I think he appeared before us, testified. Yes, oral testimony. None of his evidence looks stupid.
The committee is expected to present its report, including recommendations to the Interior Minister. There are concerns of lack of willpower to implement recommendations of such committees. Is this a concern to members of the committee?
Our duty is to find the facts, make recommendations. After our recommendations, what else? I continue with my life as usual. I have no personal expectation. I have come to do my work. Once it is done and I submit my report, I'm done.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiming Teria reporting.
Right, so Ohiming Teria, who has been covering the committee sittings, joins us live now. So Ohiming, all the work is done in 12 days, and what we know is going to happen is that the committee is going to put its work together. You have been part of this from the get-go. So you tell us, how has it been over the last few days?
And then on Wednesday, 3 others also came. Thursday was a break, there was suspension for the committee to look at some of the video evidence submitted to the committee and then informed decision on that. And today, being the last day, according to the chairman, they were expecting the last witness to appear before the committee, but the witness didn't appear. So the chairman thought that once the witness did not appear and they've gotten enough evidence from the witnesses who appeared, then it was okay for the committee to bring its activities to a halt. So in all, 22 witnesses appeared before the committee and testified. Out of the 22, 3 of the witnesses, their testimonies were received in camera. We are not too sure who these 3 people were. When we tried to get some information from the chairman of the committee, Justice Kingsley Kumsin, he didn't open up except to say that the evidence that the committee got was only meant for the committee and it will be part of the committee's report as they prepare the report and the recommendations to the Interior Minister. Beyond this, they also received 117 video evidences and then 555 pictures plus an audio evidence and 2 spent shells. The chairman said all these forms part of the evidences that the committee has picked and it will be included in this report. But there were questions as to what the chairman's and his members' expectations were. And this is something that Justice Kingsley Kumsin wouldn't want to open up except to say that they expect nothing. Once they have been commissioned to work on a report and they submit their report to the Minister of Interior, that is where their work ends. So I must say it's been a very busy, day for the committee as far as its work is concerned. They sat, and received testimonies for people in the last 12 days as far as the committee's work is concerned, Israel.
And Oheming, you indicate that the committee was supposed to have heard from one final witness today, but that witness didn't appear. Do you happen to know who this witness is and whether the testimony could be material?
Israel, kindly come again.
I want to know if you happen to know who this witness who was supposed to have appeared before the committee today is.
Unfortunately, I have no idea. The chairman or the committee wouldn't want to give details about this witness. But earlier, just 3 days ago, we were told that they were still expecting witnesses from Ejura. And among the 3 the witnesses who were supposed to appear and testify before the committee was the Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator, who about a week ago, the committee announced his schedule to appear before the committee. But that didn't happen as far as journalists were concerned. We didn't see him appear to give testimony to the committee. So we all assume that the 3 people who testified in camera, probably the Regional Security Coordinator could be part of the 3 people who testified in camera. Last week on Friday, the committee told us that the person who came to testify in camera, the very first person, was actually from Ejura, a gentleman. That is the information we picked from the committee. So for the witness who was supposed to appear today, unfortunately, we don't have any detail about this particular witness. But what we do know is that the committee was expecting somebody to testify today, and when the person did not appear, and the committee said even when they wait for him, they are not likely to know when he will be likely to appear before the committee, then they suspended his testimony and said it's okay for the committee to present its report.
All right, thank you very much, Oheming Teria, who has been covering the settings of interministerial committee probing the Ejura killings. Moving on to other stories now, the Jasehine of Wasa Pinto traditional area who went AWOL this week is back in his community. We'll be coming to that in a bit, but right now we have security analyst Adam Bona, who has also been following the proceedings of the committee. Thank you very much, Mr. Bona, for joining us. So the committee has wrapped up its work. You have been following their work, and initially you were quite critical. Are you now convinced they did a thorough job?
I am not convinced yet until I see the report. I'm not convinced they did a thorough job because I am still skeptical about their posture and, their lack of focus and the fallout, that, unwarranted attack on media persons. And eventually we are all aware of petitions, online petitions and the rest, and threatening of media people. So I would have thought that for a very important committee such as this would have stayed focused. But I would want to give them that benefit of the doubt, hoping that we all, apart from I'm hearing that 3 individuals gave an in-camera testimony. So, but the rest of it, I do believe that I am almost done with my own reports, listening to them. And so as a citizen of this country and not a spectator, I would also, put my report together, hoping that at the end of the day, would arrive at the same junction where probably if what they did is good, I'm sure Ghanaians would all know. If what they did, somehow short of what we're expecting, Israel, we would all know. But for now, I am still not very convinced because of some of these issues I've raised, Israel.
I'm curious as to some of the highlights you have in your report. Do you care to share with us?
Well, some of the Israel, just like the committee chairman did allude to some of, well, I wouldn't go as he said, but for instance, the inconsistencies, you did hear about what's the name, who fired the shots and, who might have killed these people. Did they have the protesters, were they armed with firearms? We are told there are 2 spent shells. There's 2 spent shells. We need to know whether these are BB cartridges or these are spent shells from, military-grade firearms or police-grade firearms. We need to know. And I want to know, they said they arrested some people. And so in my report, I do know that per what the Ashanti Regional Police Commander said on the day of the incident, he said they didn't arrest anybody. And coupled with the fact that it is difficult to trust the Ashanti Regional Police Command to be specific when it comes to some of these firearms. As one man died, fire raided around them, and later a committee cleared all of them and said none of them had a firearm. And so mine is that my report would be out. I am hoping, I've given you some highlights, but I wouldn't want to share everything, Israel.
All right. Thank you very much, Adam Bona. Adam Bona is a security analyst, and he has been following the committee, the Inter-Ministerial Committee sessions.